Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Detailing Yoda, me. Welcome to my workshop and welcome to my little YouTube channel where I just try and sort of professionally help you, let you know professional things that are on my mind while I'm detailing cars or while I've done other stuff, and things that I hope will help you in your detailing journey. So today I want to talk about a topic which is more for the professional guys, or for you guys who want to do this professionally, and it's almost like a warning, actually. So I'll just smash straight in with it, really. This is a video I've been thinking about making for a while, but I had a few detailing pals in the workshop yesterday who have been detailing for as long as I have, so 10, 11 years. And if you've been detailing for 10 or 11 years in the UK, you will remember that originally back in the day, there was a website, it's still there, called Detailing World. And, you know, the only way we could get our word out, you know, back then, £250 for a day's detail was a lot of money, and it was very difficult to find customers who understood the value in that. And, you know, we used to go on Detailing World, and after we'd done a car, the next thing you had to do, of course, you had to have a proper camera, because there were no phone cameras in those days. So you had to have proper SLR camera, and you would take probably anywhere between 50 and 100 photos during the detailing work. And then what you had to do was put them all together, edit them, put your little watermark on the bottom, and then upload them to a photo hosting site, because forums then had limited storage space. So you had to separately host them somewhere else, and then you had to hyperlink to them all in the description on the thing. It took like an evening. If you were lucky, it took 3 hours after finishing the detail, or the next day if you didn't have any detailing work on, to write this big long essay, and you had to pay to be a sponsor and all of that. But it was quite good. There are a lot of us from back in the day still around, and just a long process. And I remember back then a comment that someone got, or that came up, was, really, boys? You know, it's not enough these days to be able to detail, and it's hard enough detailing and knowing pads and polishes and compounds and cleaning techniques and all of that stuff. Now we've got to be photographers as well. And that comment always sticks with me, because unfortunately that is the bad news for you guys. You know, it's not good enough to be a great detailer. Obviously I teach you guys, I see you guys when we do training and training courses. And a lot of you hobby detailers are great guys, and you'll know if you've been on one of my training courses, the first thing I say to you is, you know, you guys, the guys that do this as a hobby on your own car or your mate's cars, are the luckiest people in the world, because time doesn't come into it, but you're also not running a business. So the bad news is, if you want to do this for a living, then you have to learn a whole raft of other skills which are not polishing cars. So you have to learn to polish a car. When you've done that, or on your journey, because we never really completely learn that because the game is changing so much, you also have to learn how to take photographs. And the even worse news nowadays, you have to learn to be able to do what I'm doing. You have to learn to be able to make video, really, because we're in the age of content. You have to be able to, you have to know what works on social media. You have to be able to not only just create a page, but you have to know a little bit about how the algorithms, do you know what an algorithm is, and how an algorithm works for Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Google, hyperlinking, and that sort of stuff used to be the thing, meta tags, all of that sort of stuff. You have to have a bit of an understanding about how this stuff works. And I'm not saying you have to know everything about everything, but you should really know what all those pieces of terminology I've just used mean. It's a bad news video, I'm afraid, because it's really a video about being in business. And this is true whether you are a detailer or whether you sell widgets online or whether you want to spanner cars for a living or whether you want to have a photography business. Unfortunately, having the skill is not enough. You also have to be all of these other things: a marketer, a bookkeeper, an accountant. You have to have an understanding of figures. You have to have an understanding of profit or loss. You have to know when you're profitable and when you're not profitable. You have to be able to work out an hourly rate. So if for whatever reason you don't want to get into those things or you can't get into those things, be aware that you will have to hire someone to do those things. And I suppose the other thing to be aware of is the buck stops with you. So I'm listening to an ebook at the moment called The E-Myth, which I would recommend to you all. I'm actually on the E-Myth Revisited. It's not a great delivery ebook, but I listen to it sort of 10 and 20 minute intervals when I'm polishing or out walking the dog in the morning or that sort of stuff. And it's really true. It's all about a skilled person who starts a small business and then has to turn it into a real business, I guess. And they sort of talk about how it's not a real business until you can take your hands off and be away from the business. If you're ill and your business still opens and functions to a degree, then you have a business. Until that point, if you're not there, if your business closes, all you really have is a job that is a little bit more flexible than a normal job. Well, not really, because with a normal job, if you're ill or anything else, you still get paid. So there's a bit of a dead zone there. And yeah, I think the point of this video is I just want to open your eyes up, guys, to the fact that there is a lot more to running a business, and being in business doing the thing you love is really hard, actually. It's quite stressful. It can take a lot of time up. Detailing is a time-consuming job anyway, because we're selling hours at the end of the day. We're not selling products. So your money, in a way, is geared directly to the amount of time you spend doing something. So a bit of a warning, hopefully a pre-warning, to do some extra work. You know, the successful detailer or the successful guy in anything is the successful businessman. I always use this analogy. McDonald's are not great at making burgers. McDonald's don't make the best burgers, but McDonald's are good at the business of making burgers, which really tells you everything about everything, doesn't it? They're also good property agents. Actually, McDonald's are in the business of property, not burger making. But that's a separate thing for another time. So my guy is just turning up outside, I can hear, so I'm going to have to go and leave you there. But I'll leave you with this thought. You know, the successful detailer is the one that can market himself and run a detailing business and can understand the figures and knows his hourly rate and knows his worth in a way, and is continuously learning and improving. He's not necessarily the one that makes the shiniest car. Leave you with that thought, guys. Thanks very much, and I'll see you again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and all those things, because it helps. Cheers.